This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Mike stole some of the thunder. He's very proud of that. But today we toast Yana Snyder of Sacramento, California. Now, recently, Yana, she was laying in bed with her 2-year-old daughter, and she had some soothing meditation music on, but over the music, she heard sounds coming from another room. So the first thing she did was text one of her friends, and her friend basically said, "Why are you texting me? Call the goddamn police." So she locked herself in the bathroom, dialed 911. She whispered the whole time so whoever broke in would not hear her. And the cops, they didn't waste any time. They showed up minutes later, kicked down her front door, expecting a burglar, but it was not a burglar. It was her robot vacuum. You see, she also had an older son who does not like to do chores, and he didn't want to vacuum. So he set up their old Roomba, which they hadn't used in 2 years. He was gone for the weekend, but he set the timer on it, so it woke her up in the middle of the night, started cleaning, and then it tumbled down a set of stairs, which is what she heard. So luckily, there's no burglar, but Yana had to spend several $100s to replace the door that the cops kicked down. Now, that was going to be the shot of the day, but Mike already told you this. So instead, we missed this in birthdays earlier, fellas. Since we've been in Seattle on this station, 16 years? Yep. Whatever the hell it's been. Someone who's been very influential celebrates a birthday today. So we'd be remiss if we did not say happy birthday to Iggy Pop. And also to Ryan Castle.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Castle.
Who also celebrates a birthday today.
That's cool.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
So let's drink.
Well done.
We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Steve Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Guess who it is, Ted?
James.
James, welcome to the Men's Room.
It is the James, Ted.
What's up?
The James, right?
You got 2 E's in that V, James?
Sure, let's do it.
That a boy.
All right, you understand how this here game is played?
Oh, yeah, we're going to profile people. That ain't wrong.
Fantastic. So you have one of 3 stories to choose from, the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's see what's in the butt.
All right.
Interior decorating.
All right, this story is, this one's a little unusual. But a court has refused to void a prisoner's conviction for a brutal attempt to steal contraband hidden in another inmate's rectum. Maurice Wakefield's conviction stems from an incident in the E Block at the Blair County Prison. Wakefield and several cohorts, they knew that another prisoner had contraband hidden in a plastic bag inside of his rectum. So they demanded that he give it to them. Now, the other inmate tried to comply and pass the package naturally, but when that didn't work, his tormentors tried to remove it by force. Just keep in mind, This is someone else's rectum, but this guy's going after it. Now, the tools they used were 2 toothbrushes. And they say that invasion only left the other inmate battered and bloody and did not succeed in freeing the contraband. When the inmate did finally pass the contraband, he tossed it to his attackers. Then, despite their threats, he told police what had happened. Well, the jury convicted Wakefield on charges of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse. That's from the 2 toothbrushes. Conspiracy, aggravated assault, assault by a prisoner, making terroristic threats, unlawful restraint, simple assault, and reckless endangerment. Now, the question I have for you is, what do you think inmate 0 was hiding in his rectum that the other inmates were willing to use 2 toothbrushes to pry his butt open to get it? Was it crack?
Heroin.
Crack, a gun, cash, or tobacco? Ooh.
I'm going to say tobacco.
Tobacco. So the court, you said they voided the prisoner's plea? They wouldn't allow him to do it?
They're like, no.
Okay, that he was basically assaulted?
Oh, no, this is prison, not just county jail, right?
No, this is prison.
Oh, they can have cigarettes in there. So let's go with crack. It was crack.
I think that this guy must have owed somebody some money. I'm going to go. So you're going to go crack on this one, James?
Yeah, let's go crack in the crack.
I'm going to go cash, because with cash you can do anything. So
yeah,
whatever you need.
Spending money in prison. Come on.
Okay, that's just going to be my guess. Ted?
Yeah, I mean, it would be tough to spend cash there, right? Because you got to get.
They don't got a 7-Eleven, man. What are you gonna buy?
There's a commissary, but people put money on that for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with tobacco.
You're going to go tobacco. Okay. All right, we're going to find out what these guys physically removed from this man. Was it crack, a gun, cash, or tobacco next?
That was a tease.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. Each week, we talk openly and honestly about the hard things in life together with you. So join us and some of our dearest friends and greatest heroes to talk about anxiety, boundaries, parenting, infidelity, our bodies, loving and losing, all of the things that make us human. Listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things on Odyssey and everywhere you get your podcasts.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category Interior Tech rating on profile. This court has voided a prisoner's plea that he was assaulted. A couple guys in jail used physical means to remove some contraband out of his backside.
2 toothbrushes, Miles.
Question is, besides getting a good brushing, what did they get out of there? Crack, a gun, cash, or tobacco?
And that is the very question that we posed to you, James. James, you said let's go with crack into crack. Oh, I'm sorry. Miles, you went with cash money.
Cash, yes. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Leeds and Smith, you went with tobacco.
Oh, yeah. Man. Dennis Jones in for a cigarette.
That's why Ray Liotta.
You don't think...
I'm Ray Liotta. I picked Chantix after I assaulted another man's rectum with 2 toothbrushes.
You don't think nicotine is addictive?
Yeah.
That is all you need to know.
Heard you got nicotine in the butt.
They just need to put that picture on the pack of cigarettes.
Don't worry about the Surgeon General.
Yeah, don't show me an old crabby lung. Show me that.
Right. That puts fear in my heart.
It does. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices, Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
The Jimmys.
Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
Trevor Noah.
she got you.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there in the time all these guys have teams of talents and writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke, and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Vin Diesel is going to star in a live-action movie based on the old toy, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Say what you want, but it's nice to finally see a human taking over a robot's job.
Fallon. Yeah, I'll say Fallon.
Yeah, it's Jimmy.
So that Vin Diesel is going to star in a live-action movie based on the old toy Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Say what you want, but it's nice to finally see a human taking over a robot's job.
Duh, I'm here for the robots. Not my best impression.
Not bad, though.
According to new polls, Americans are most interested in trying edibles more than any other type of cannabis product. Wow. America, the only country that starts with the munchies.
Trevor Noah. Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
According to polls, Americans are more interested in trying edibles than any other type of cannabis product. Wow, America's the only country that starts with the munchies.
By the way, can't explain this enough, people. Don't go that route. You're going to get much more messed up on an edible. I can control you when I see you hitting the bong. Johnson & Johnson just can't seem to catch a break. Back in March, there was a contamination issue at one of their vaccine plants, and the FDA is halting production while it investigates. Right now, the company is in so much trouble that Johnson is not currently talking to Johnson.
Fallon. Ted Smith.
Fallon.
Well, guys, it seems like Johnson & Johnson just can't catch a break. Back in March, there was a contamination issue at one of their vaccine plants, and the FDA is halting production while it investigates. Right now, the company is in so much trouble, Johnson is currently not talking to Johnson.
Jenny McCarthy urged husband Donnie Wahlberg to go to therapy with her before they had their first fight. She said, quote, even Prince Charming doesn't come without work, even though for the last 33 years he has been hanging tough.
That's going to be Ted. That's a new kid's joke.
He's been hanging in there.
Yeah.
It's Mark Wahlberg, Don Wahlberg.
Donnie
Donnie.
Wahlberg.
I should call him Don.
Yeah, the Wahlbergers. This is all where their mom passed away last week.
Oh, that's terrible. I was about to make jokes about their family.
Yeah, because they got their other brother basically runs that Wahlburgers.
Which, I got to admit, I went to one. It was delicious.
Was it good?
That's a lie. It wasn't a Wahlburgers. It's another fancy chef that has like a burger joint now.
A fancy chef or
You're saying the Wahlburgers a fancy chef?
Well, Wahlburgers to me is like kind of that. Ironically enough, we got into this today on the MegaCast, brand new episode out. To me, I rate burgers on different stuff, right? So there's like fast food burgers.
Sure.
Then there's like drive-ins, like a Dick's or In-N-Out. Then you have fast casual, like a Red Mill or
Red
Kid
Robin.
Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Red Robin, you're sitting down, you can get a beer. But like Five Guys, fast casual.
Okay,
right? Because you could sit in
Where do
there.
you put Red Mill?
Red Mill's fast casual.
Fast casual, okay.
Yeah, anyhow. So Wahlburgers and those kind of pizza or burger joints that are popping up, like they're kind of that in-betweeners. Like, you don't have a waiter come to your table like you do at the Robin.
Right.
But you can get a beer and order and sit down at your table.
Right.
Okay.
I'm making a whole new category as I talk about it, to be honest with you. Throw, help me out. This famous chef. He's on TV a lot.
Is it Wolfgang Puck's place?
Bobby Flay?
You know, it's one of those two. I'm going to stop now.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know either. You know what?
I think
there was one in College Park. My sister-in-law picked it out, and I said, you know what? This is actually a very, very
This is a
good.
nationwide place.
I think if you can get a beer there, that's a different tier, like you said, fast casual.
Well, no, I want to know the goddamn place.
Right.
It's nationwide.
Bobby's Burger Palace?
That's it. Bobby Flay?
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I don't like him that much.
All that. And it's great.
His food's good.
It's great.
I just think he's a bit of a, you know.
Well, it doesn't matter if his food's good.
Bobby Flay. He's always grilling fruit and stuff. Like, you know what? Like, all right. I guess that's what we're doing now. We're grilling fruit. And don't tell me about pineapple. Anybody can grill pineapple. I make my cider with real apples that I've grilled. We're just talking about if Vin Diesel is going to star in Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. It's not just a movie about the robots. The movie is about, quote, a father and son who form an unlikely bond with an advanced war machine.
Ooh. Right. I'd rather just be about the robots.
I'm with you. I was kind of picturing like a Rocky kind of thing and like, I don't know how he
You can't beat this robot.
You can't beat Blue Guy today. Right. Blue Guy's got it in for you.
Something, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I never played.
Throw in the oil.
Did you ever play Rock'em Sock'em Robot and say, wait, before we start, let's come up with a backstory?
No.
I'm
sure
pissed
did
at you
not.
because you dated my girl.
Right.
All right, let's go.
We don't need a movie. We're just going to play Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah. Yeah, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That was always a fun game.
What game would you make into a movie? Right, they've done Battleship. They've done Clue. I'm sure you could do Monopoly. Part of me thinks
does that
Operation.
count as a game or as a toy? Because you're physically doing something.
It's a toy, but it's a toy that's specifically competitive.
All right, I got it. You know what I'd like to see?
Hungry Hippos.
Yes!
I knew it.
You're
I
damn
could feel
right.
it, dude.
They can film it in Mexico.
Yeah.
Just have people walk around down there.
See, that's what the movie would be.
See which hippo's the hungriest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the drug lord. Who was it?
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar. So we had all these hippos imported over. Well, he's gone. The hippos are still there, man.
Thousands of them.
And you don't really mess with the hippos. So this is kind of a problem that they have there. They're trying to keep them contained anyway. So now the movie,
you're just dropped off in the middle of this area,
right? And you realize, oh my God, there's hippos.
You got to make it to the perimeter, to the safe spot.
Mine would be like, it's in Africa, right?
Okay.
Like hippo natural environment.
Yes.
All right. They're on a river. It's a guided tour or whatever. There's ex-special forces military guy. One person gets eaten, and they're like, is it hippos? He's like, I don't think it's hippos. Another person gets eaten. Now we're about half hour, 40 minutes. This movie's only 90 minutes. It's after Hungry Hippos. Mm-hmm. And at one point, now, he's got no sleeves on. He's looking real tough. And somebody's like, I told you, Sergeant, it was the hippos. And he goes, not just hippos. Hungry hippos.
He comes out and bites on his arm.
That's his big moment.
That's the sell.
They get the snakes off the effing planet.
Right. I think he has something. We should write the script.
These are hungry
hippos. Just for that line.
Right. Just for that line. That's it. It's about half hour, 45 minutes. The last 45 minutes is destruction of hippos.
Oh, for sure. Except the last one. The big one.
Right. Talking helicopters like our guy that called earlier. He's hanging out of that Black Hawk.
They brought a Black Hawk helicopter.
Hits him with a shoulder-mounted missile.
These aren't just regular hippos. They're hungry hippos.
This one's lost his marbles.
Oh, there we go.
Bank it.
That's what I'm saying.
Weed Week.
Right. Did you play it as a kid? This isn't a game.
It's no longer a game.
Right.
Weed Week.
The only red hippo is going to be one covered in blood. I don't know what this movie's rated or who it's starring.
Don't be surprised if it doesn't happen. Since they've been making all these movies of toys.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
George Story 5, The Hippos.
They thought there was one. All right, Rob Zombie. He's directing a Munsters movie. Supposedly it'll be a Peacock exclusive, which means it'll be you can watch it. It'll premiere on Peacock and in theaters. BloodyDisgusting.com says the budget is 30
integrity.
40 million range. They're also backing Hungry Hippos.
I see. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of
they'd
money.
be all about it.
But that makes sense that Rob Zombie being involved with the Munsters. I've seen his home on TV.
I would say more Addams Family, even though they were both. Here's the problem with both those shows. Both of those shows were based on comedy.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
So I don't know if from what I've watched of Rob Zombie and listened to of Rob Zombie,
you know what it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
But he'll do it the way
Dark Monsters.
Yeah, but I would prefer that. I don't know that I would pick him to direct it, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, his house has like caskets and stuff already.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he already is basically living the Munsters lifestyle.
Pretty much.
Well, he's
the American
ironically
dream.
enough, Cousin Ned just died the other day.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's another one biting the dust. Everybody you brought up had someone.
Do you know his name? Do you know Cousin It's name? His name was not Cousin It.
I did, and I literally just threw out that article because I was like, nobody cares, and it was sad.
Oh, it's Cousin It, man. And you said nobody cares?
Cousin It. He was like
people care about it.
He was like Chaka in Land of the Lost. People love him.
Yeah, but I feel like you had to make a choice. For me, it was Addams Family. The Munsters are weird. The Addams are fine.
Yeah, that's perfectly normal. Someone here says Ernest in Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Oh, it's not a bad call.
CGI him in.
I mean, look, if I'm making this movie, Ernest is in it, new version of Benji, throw him in there. Right. We might have to sacrifice a Benji.
Tara Reid will die.
Yeah, well, this is classy, dude.
Okay.
She can't be
Lindsay Lohan. Ian Ziering will have his arm bitten off.
Let's see. So there's been 5 Jeopardy guest hosts so far. Basically, they just kind of they just put the ratings in there for who's done the best and worst.
All right.
Now, Ken Jennings had the highest ratings.
Sure.
In Ken Jennings' defense, though, he was the first guest host.
Correct.
So Alex Trebek had just...
And your name that people... They know the names of everyone
who's
hosting.
No longer on the show.
But we know your name very specifically because of Jeopardy.
Right, so here's the deal. If you're a Jeopardy person, then you know who Ken Jennings is. So he would be the logical choice.
Of course.
But is Jeopardy like, we got to get somebody from outside the Jeopardy world to get more people to view it?
I mean, you could, but Jeopardy's
doesn't change the game.
No danger of losing. I mean, Jeopardy does very well for itself.
Jeopardy producer Mike Richards, he was second. Aaron Rodgers was third. That was only after 1 week. Katie Couric was in there. Dr. Oz had the lowest ratings. But also, Aaron Rodgers is a massive football star.
Sure.
But if you don't watch NFL or care about sports, I don't know. Do you want a quarterback? Does Aaron Rodgers... I guess I don't know what the answer is.
Did you know who Alex Trebek was before he hosted Jeopardy? Probably not.
Correct.
I think in the long run, like anything, if you host it, then within 2 years, it's like this guy used to play quarterback. He's just the host of Jeopardy. Think about Michael Strahan. We knew this guy's a beast on the field, right? Has the sack record, all this crap. He's like Good Morning America.
Yeah, people almost forget he still does football.
Right, that's what I mean. So it's like, I think the transition's easier than, we will always know him as a football guy, but if you bring up Michael Strahan now, he's a former player to me, and I'm old enough to have seen him play.
Right, so I'm saying, if I'm running Jeopardy, do I stick with Ken Jennings, who the whole crowd knows, or do I say, screw it, let's just bring in Aaron Rodgers? We might bring in a new crowd to start.
You got a couple of replacements if someone wants to take a vacation or whatever. But ultimately, I think Aaron Rodgers, he's still going to play football. But the bottom line is, he's got a career in front of him doing whatever type of television or whatever.
He's at least doing that.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, is with Jeopardy, I want to say I heard somewhere the other day that it's I want to say it's around 70 days a year.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, you're not working a ton.
Yeah.
And
pretty
you
sweet
put
gig.
in the work when you have to work, but you're not working a lot of consecutive days.
Right? That's a sweet gig.
Yeah. I think it is kind of crazy that Aaron Rodgers I want to host Jeopardy.
Well, he's a nerd. But you wouldn't know, you know what I mean? Because we know him as, this really good quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Then it's like, oh, yeah, dude, I'm completely nerded out.
Yeah, he's kind of finicky, I'd say.
That's a fair word. Like a cat.
Yeah.
Meow.
Playing with his little thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Meow.
Weed Week.
Oh, God.
I can't remember that. Meow. Just keep pawing at him.
Right.
With the latest this is kind of interesting. When Amazon first announced they were doing a Lord of the Rings show, they said they were going to make it big to be the next Game of Thrones. Season 1, they spent $465 million. That's almost $500 million on the first season. And they're planning on doing 5 seasons.
Let's pull a prank and nobody watch it.
So they're really banking on this.
Right, you have to... That's a lot of money to hope that people like what you do.
Right, so Game of Thrones costs roughly $100 million per episode.
Jeez, a whiz.
$100 million per episode?
Yeah. Per season.
Yeah, okay.
Each episode was $6 million. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, I was having a hard time with that.
But by the end, the budget it grew to around $15 million per episode.
But at that point, they knew they could bankroll it. By the time they started dropping that much cash, they knew they had the fandom behind it. Well, Lord of the Rings, I know there's a lot of Lord of the Rings fans, but if they don't like your show, they're going to probably be the worst audience.
They're not going to watch the second episode.
Right. I think they're just trying to make it more like Game of Thrones was.
Sure. Oh, I get it.
So I don't know how. I mean, Mike, you like Hobbit stuff.
Yeah, we're into Hobbit stuff.
But like, are the movies that close to the book? Do you have to play it that close to the Shire?
No.
Play it that close to the Shire. At least your limited knowledge of it makes it much more incredible.
What else goes on with this Hobbit stuff? Is there anything else?
Hobbit stuff.
I mean, there's things that get left out. You know, I read all the Harry Potter books, and then they made the movie, so there's plenty of stuff that gets left out, and some of it you might miss, but they do a good job.
But based on the length of the movies, I mean, they obviously put a lot more in than they leave out.
Exactly.
You know?
I think they should just make it more violent.
Okay.
Right?
Hobbits. All right.
Hobbit on Hobbit violence.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Game of Thrones, like, I still haven't watched it, but that's mostly what I hear. It's about violence and incest. Yep. And
Those
not the okay kind of stuff like Miles was talking about, like real
California. California's taking it the last 2 days.
Right? The Hollywood Reporter, though, they also note that a lot of the budget, basically, like, they're going to make 5 seasons. They're never going to have to pay for most of the sets and costumes and this and that again, because you're already going to have them in-house.
This is all their upfront costs then, all at once.
That's part of it. Okay. Either way, look, I mean, like, it's Amazon. They ain't hurting for money. They don't care. They can spend money on whatever they want. And it's Lord of the Rings. I know so many different groups of people that love those books, love those movies, and will go watch it.
They love Hobbit stuff.
Hobbit stuff, man. Ring stuff.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
There's a new and different way to fund your business or side hustle without the hassles of a loan. HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor that gives you access to your home equity in cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value with no monthly payments or interest. How you use the money is totally up to you. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility, terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com. HomeTap.com.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida woman chokes her Uber driver right before sinking her teeth into his neck. Meanwhile, a Texas teen learns what happens when you joke by putting a fake kidnapping note on your restaurant check. House party in Georgia with 500 people going great until the home's floor caves in. Woman offering witchcraft services in Florida steals $100K and disappears with a grin. And a jeweler in England guilty of money laundering. He seeks trial by combat. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my call.
Our top story, glad to see Florida back to normal. A woman was arrested after an Uber ride gone crazy. While being transported to her destination, the woman reached around to the driver's seat and, quote, throttled the driver before putting him into a chokehold from behind. Completely unprovoked, by the way. After the driver managed to pull the car over, she launched ahead over the center console to bite down on the driver's neck as he tried to escape. Police were eventually called, and she faces felony counts. They suspect some sort of alcohol influence played a role in the attack.
Okay.
I always think the best idea is if someone is driving me, distract them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people who have had alcohol, but they didn't bite people.
That's kind of what I was wondering.
Maybe like the alcohol, I mean, I know it didn't help the situation, but
it ain't the booze.
Right.
No.
This person was already at that point.
Yes. Still in Florida, police are on the lookout for a woman offering some interesting services. She had advertised an offering of a solution of people's relationship problems via witchcraft. The victim of note was told first to put 3 eggs below his pillow at night while he slept and bring them back to her, which turned out to magically be filled with blood, needles, and worms, which proved a darkness in his life. He was then instructed to bring all of the money in his possession, as well as the possession of his friends and family, so that she could bless it and command it to multiply, which he did to the tune of $29,000. Mysteriously, she was not able to clean the money there in her temple and needed to take them to a different location to better clean it there, and she would have the money back for him tomorrow for their next meeting. Aha! You know how the story goes. There was never a third session with the victim, nor the several others that all were met with the same fate.
I feel like I would only do that on a bet. I'd be like, there's no way anyone's dumb enough.
Right.
Yeah, pretend you know witchcraft to do all this crap.
Exactly.
I almost don't even feel bad for him. I mean, I do, but like, come on, man.
There's a darkness in your money. I must clean it for you.
Yeah.
But I can't do it here. I need something from home, so just come back tomorrow.
And yes, you'll see me again.
Like, you want to look to him and say, was there any red flag going off in your head?
Everything when she said I know witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Right. Any at all.
She put flyers up in the neighborhood. Like, you're going to believe this person who put a thing up on a telephone pole made like, kids' cardboard stuff for a science fair?
Doggone it.
There's a demon inside you.
You know what? That's enough for your headlines today. We actually had a little bit of a game that we were playing here on the show today in celebration of nothing in general. We just felt like playing a game in which we would take a name out of a hat, and then it would be up to you, the listener, to decide who on the show had their name drawn out of said hat. Mm-hmm. And we do have the results here. In fourth place with 17.4%, the people felt it was least likely that I was the one chosen out of the hat.
Okay.
In third place with 25.1%, they were fairly certain as well that Ted was not the one picked out of the hat.
The last 2 days, but not today.
That's right, not today. So here is the number one answer that they believe was drawn out of the hat with a resounding 32.3%. They believe it was Steve the Thrill Hill that was pulled out of the hat. However, it was our own Miles Montgomery who was pulled out of the hat today. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
We'll see you next time for the head chef, Ted's Meat and Potatoes. And once again, we'll play the game known as Big Dummy. The lovely Taryn Daly's up next.
Yes, indeed, it is all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.